Hello everyone and welcome to my review of Jujutsu Kaisen chapter 111. So in last week's chapter we had Toji coming into Dagon's domain expansion and totally wrecking shit. Um, where we left off, Naobito had helped Toji by stopping Dagon from attacking Megumi, and Toji stabbed Dagon through the head with Playful Cloud. So we start off this chapter with a very nice color page of Toji and Megumi, not wearing shoes for some reason. I don't know what it is. I've noticed with color pages showing off the characters, a lot of the time they have bare feet. I don't know why. I'm not going to question it. But anyway, we get immediately back to Dagon being stabbed through the head by Toji, and Dagon trying to convince himself that it's not over yet. But then Toji does what Toji do, and then just starts stabbing the shit out of Dagon's head over and over again. And then domain expansion disappears, which means that he killed him, or exorcised him. Then Nanami is wondering if Toji has become this fucking being obsessed with violence and fighting strong people. Is Toji on our side? So the first thing that happens is Toji grabs Megumi and leaves the room with him for some reason. It should be of note that Megumi does not recognize his dad, which is kind of sad, but we already kind of knew that he wasn't really a present figure in his life, so it's not really that surprising. Then we get back to the rest of the group, and we see that Jogo is here, which is not good news, because Jogo is yet another special grade curse. So he shows up, and he's like cremating Dagon's body, and talking about how he should leave the rest to him, and that they'll meet again in the wastelands 100 years from now. I kind of totally forgot that Jogo is really the, philosophical member of the group, I guess. He's the one that's always talked about being a real human and stuff. But anyway, he shows up and then appears to kill Nanami. He just totally blazes him. We don't know what happens, really. Then he does it to Maki. And then he's going to do it to Naobito, but Naobito dodges. And we find out that Naobito has a curse technique called projection sorcery, which I'm going to read out loud because I didn't fully understand it when I read through it the first time. So, by dividing 1 second into 24 frames and using one's field of view as the angle of view, the user can trace a predetermined set of movements. While the technique is activated, anything touched by Naobito's palm must also abide by the 1/24th FPS rule while moving. Failure to do so will cause instability in their movements and result in staying frozen for 1 second. However, there is a risk. The predetermined course of action cannot be adjusted once started. In addition, if the trajectory of movement or the laws of physics are ignored excessively, the user will freeze as well. With his natural-born sense of strategic movement and timing, Naobito became known as the fastest Jujutsu sorcerer alive, excluding Satoru Gojo, of course. However, that was when he still had his right arm. And then he gets torched by Jogo, who seemed to have traps set up. I don't think that they're dead, because I really doubt that they would have killed off Maki and Nanami like that, considering how important they are. We'll get into what I think is going to happen. Oh, immediately, Jogo has this vision of Sukuna. And he's like, holy shit, someone has taken out one of Sukuna's fingers. And we go back, and we see that Geto's 2 disciples, the kids that he rescued, are trying to feed Yuji some of Sukuna's fingers. So Jogo runs to the scene and finds this situation, and 2 girls pretty much refuse to tell Jogo how many fingers they gave him, and it looks like they're going to do a selfie, and then they get torched by Jogo. So, he then starts to think about what Geto, or quote-unquote Geto, told him about how, if Yuji were to eat all 20 of Sukuna's fingers, he probably wouldn't lose control of his body. But that's under the conditions of him eating one every day for 20 days. If he were to consume 10 fingers at once, he probably wouldn't be able to counteract it. And although temporarily he would lose control of his body to Sukuna. So Jogo takes out this wrapped up thing and reveals, that's 10. Yeah, 10 fingers. And Jogo says it's time to wake up Sukuna. So what's probably going to happen is he's going to give him all of the fingers, and Sukuna's going to wake up and wreck shit, basically. Sukuna doesn't really seem to have shown much interest in working with the other cursed spirits, so he's probably just going to fight everyone, and then go fight Geto. I also think that Sukuna may do something to revive Maki and Nanami and maybe Naobito. I don't know, Naobito's not like one of the main characters, or like not a member of the main cast, so he may get shafted. Who knows? But I suspect that by empowering Yuji this much and reawakening Sukuna, he'll have some way to heal them or something, I guess. Which means that this is going to be the first time we've seen Sukuna in a really long time. I think the last time that we saw him like manifested was when Yuji fought Mahito. And the last time we like saw from him in general was after the Origin of Obedience arc. So it's going to be good to see him again. And now that he's this empowered, we're going to see him really wreck shit. Because I think Yuji has eaten 3 fingers already. And now he would have 14, which is a gigantic power boost. If I recall correctly, when the high-grade spirits were introduced, Jogo said that he was around the power level of like 8 or 9 of Sukuna's fingers. Which means, if Sukuna is awakened and isn't really interested in working with Geto and the other special grade spirits, that Jogo's just going to get wiped, basically. That's what I think is going to happen. Of course, the other important thing is that we have Toji and Megumi. What's going to happen with them? We don't really know if Toji is still Toji, or if he is just like this mindless, violent being that has the form of Toji at the moment. Then we also have the stuff going on with the others. I had totally forgotten Panda was here with someone else whose name I can't remember. I think they're going to meet up with Nobara and Inumaki, and we'll see what happens with them. They'll probably encounter Sukuna if he's awakened. Because Megumi's already encountered Sukuna before, but the rest of the gang haven't. Oh, I just thought about how Sukuna wanted revenge on Megumi, which means he may run right up to whatever's going on between Toji and Megumi, and we could see Megumi and Toji team up to fight Sukuna. That would be pretty cool. But yeah, that's really all that's happened this chapter. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. I will be doing Jujutsu Kaisen reviews every week. If you enjoy other series like Rekido Ragnarok, Bleach, Chainsaw Man, and Kengan Omega, I do videos on those series as well. Follow me on Twitter. I'll have a link in the description below, and I'll see you around.